To all the Chashavei Rabbeim who have volunteered their time and their expertise to help out with the editing of the Talmud Trainer, and I hope that this Sefer will be helpful to you with your Talmidim very soon with all of your input. First, a brief introduction on how this workbook is going to be used. Ideally, of course, with your input, we may decide on other methods and ideas. But basically, the way it was designed currently is that there is, this over here is a sample page explaining each feature. There is a gray box on the side of every page. That gray box is basically what the Rebbe gives the student before the shir. The information bar. The Talmud is introduced to the Gemara. That would include background, prerequisite knowledge, important keywords that come up for the first time, musagim, and then some of these items may be for later on, like challenges, taich translations. If a student is already up to figuring out the Gemara, they need just a little bit of help. Go figure, which is hints and word connections. These are more advanced for later on in the year. So that's the information bar. Now what happens is, throughout the book, I believe 10 times, we have a skill. This got a little bit messed up in the editing. Sorry about that. We'll fix that up in the final version. It's supposed to say Gemara skills, and there'll be a Gemara skill and an example of the Gemara skill. Here's an example from the first skill over here. It says that the first skill is a very simple skill, dividing a Mishnah into a case and din, or mikra and din. Right? How is a student supposed to accomplish that? He uses words like chayiv, pater, mishalim to show that, to see that the din is being stated, to get used to the type of words that would be in that type of mishnayos, in that mesechta. And the divide the Mishnah into separate dinim using comma between the case and the din and a period after the din. Here's an example, right? Hakones say in the div and al b'fanei karov yatsa v'zika comma. That's the case. Zak the Mishnah pater. Din is pater. Okay, that's case 1, and then here is case 2. Now, so far what happened is the Rebbe gave the information bar. The Talmud was introduced to a skill with a example of the skill, and then we move on to practice. The Talmud does the practice. This is all before the Talmud even knows the Mishnah or the Gemara. So first they have the background information, then they learn a new skill if a new skill is taught in that sugya. Then they do the practice, which every sugya almost there is some type of practice to be done. And then we can, once we've exhausted the skill level of that Talmud, now we can go on, and the Talmud can, together with the Rebbe, learn and write down new words and learn the Rashi together. And when we're ready for it, have Shailas Chazar. Okay, there's also a feature called What's Bothering Rashi that got messed up a little bit. You can't see the shin, but basically where Rebbe will train the Talmud, write down the Dibra Maschel, and predict the possible question, and then after we've learned the Rashi together, what actual explanation was given, just as a way, as a skill to build Rashi skills. There's a whole page at the end of this book about how that can be done. Okay, so that is basically how that would work. The theory is, as we get more advanced in the book, let me scroll ahead to more to the end of the year, right? And here would be a skill. Oops, this page got a little messed up here, which is why I'm going to be using PDF for our work. So the practice, the information bar may be shorter, with more of go figures and taich already, because the Talmud already knows a lot, and he has a practice that is basically telling him to already answer the review questions using Rashi to help him figure this out. Now this is way on in the book, as you see over here, closer to the end. that he has to start using skills to make a bit of a lanin, right? And if he can't figure it out, okay, then the Rebbe can come in and see and straighten out, make sure he got the Shalas HaChazar right, and then teach the Gemara correctly. If that was too hard, but where the goal is to teach a student to be self-sufficient as much as possible. So again, information bar, new skill if it's applicable, practice, then learn the Gemara inside with the Shalas HaChazara. And as you get to the end of the year, already the Talmud is already making a laning a little bit. Now, where do all of the Chashavei Rebbeim come in? This is obviously a work in progress. I made this as a 7th grade Melamed, and made them as sheets for my students as I was teaching. This is not a professional book made by a typesetter. As you can see, definitely need improvements in the text that we're using, and I'm sure there are many more improvements which you all will be able to suggest. So how are we going to share those improvements and edits and maybe some of the questions? You might suggest better wording. You might suggest better wording for the information bar, something that I missed. You might suggest ways how you would teach this sugya that I didn't think of, and resources that we can put in that you would like to see in the book. One Rebbe mentioned to me about putting in different biographies and things like that, and that's something to think about. It's already quite a big book, but maybe popular features that are that Rebbeim would like to see to make a book like this, a workbook on this parak Hakones, useful for you in your classrooms, that you can use it, and share whatever would be your wish list. And if the more we hear from Rebbeim the same things, then more serious the consideration is to go and do that work. So let's now jump to how you're going to share this with me. So I'm going to go over here on my email, and I'm going to see an email, if you follow the mouse here, that you would have received from me. Okay, it says Avram Wagshel via Dropbox shared Hakones workbook with you. So you would click on that email, and you would see View File. Okay, now if you don't have a Dropbox account, once you click View File, you'll be prompted to make one. It's very easy. You just put in your first name, last name, your email address, and instant you have a free Dropbox account, and you can use that to store things. But if you don't want to, you can just use it for this purpose, just to view the file. So we click on View the File, and that's going to pop up. And here I have viewing the file. I'm signed in as Rabbi Wagshel. It's a different account, and this is Avraham Wagshel, the one who's posting this file. Now on the right side of the screen is going to be all the comments. Now, because of the issues of formatting and losing formatting, if we're sharing a document offline, I've shared this as a PDF. So what we're basically going to be doing is we're going to be putting notes on the PDF. Now, Dropbox has a great tool that allows us to do this, but I'm making this tutorial video to show you how that works. It's really simple, but you just have to know what to do, otherwise then it becomes not so simple. So pay attention where it says over here, write a comment. Okay, so let's say I'm reviewing this daf, and I noticed, hey, this text got jumbled here. That needs to be fixed. Okay, so I'm going to go over there to this plus sign in the write a comment box. There's two options here. This one is at mention someone. That you don't have to worry about. I will be notified as soon as you write a comment. And if you want to post your comment to any other Rebbe, you can play around with that. So you click on the left one, comment on specific areas. So if you click on it, you will now see a little message here. Click and drag to comment on areas, and you'll see that instead of a mouse, I have a little, target on the screen there. Now I'm going to go and select. I'm going to drag around the area I want to comment on. In this case, it's this little jumbled text here. And now a window pops up that I can write a comment, and I'm going to write this. Oops, I'm writing in Hebrew. This text is illegible. Did I spell that wrong? Yes, I did. Illegible. Okay, and now I'm going to click post, and so we now have a post. Notice in the top, I was notified, since I'm signed in as the author, that a thing was made. Now, what's going to happen when other Rebbeim are going to be looking at the pages that you commented on? We're going to give each Rebbe, so it's not such a big avodah on each Rebbe, a certain number of pages to look at, and you'll see a little yellow highlight area. If you drag your mouse over it, the comment will pop up like this, and it'll also be on the side, on the comment bar, on the information bar. Their comments will be found like that. I can also click done. Once I click done, so now it's done. And if I want to do it again, I can do so. Anything else important to know? Oh yes, this fuse it together. You'll see this throughout the book. I made a comment over here. Please note that these are the Gemara Brura signs, and the fuse it together section will not be part of the new addition to this book, because ultimately it was an experiment I had permission to try from the Gemara Brura founder, Meir Fachler, years ago. It was when I first made this, like, I don't know, 7-8 years ago, and ultimately both of us agreed that we're not going to go ahead with including that. So I'm going to be taking that out. Anyways, that's using this system. I don't believe that Gemara Brura is so necessary once we're teaching them the tools to figure out the Gemara on their own. Then they start to be the ones to build the flow. Not that the Rebbe is providing review tools. They start to be the ones providing review tools and providing their own way of teaching the Gemara. So that's just my shita. Where I'm coming from here is that it's not about what the Rebbe is doing to sing and dance and explain it very well, and be very entertaining and get it into your head. The goal is that the Rebbe gives you the tools that your head can, unlock the meaning in the text. So that will be out. And any other questions that you have about this and how this works, please email me at the email address I'm going to be sending you things from, rabbiwagshul@gmail.com. And yeshikayach for all of your help, and I look forward to collaborating with you, and thank you very, very much.